Okay, so in today's session, we are going to discuss about Tableau best practices and about attribute function. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss. So Tableau best practices and know the purpose of the dashboard and design the dashboards for the real world and limit the number of views and how attribute function is getting used in Tableau and how to apply filters to other worksheets. Okay, so whenever we create any dashboard, so we need to know the purpose and the audience. So a well-designed dashboard can align your organization efforts and help uncover key insights. So speed upping the decision making. So let's say, so I need to be creating the dashboard for the subcategory level. And let's say category wise, if someone is maintaining the category wise details and whoever under that person, so they will be taking care of the subcategories. So I need to be able to create some kind of data where they can dig deeper into the information which is available. So let's say this particular chart which I'm showing right now, it is showing for the subcategories, and I can sort it out. I mean, I can do a sort based on the ascending or descending by using this field. So now, if you see the fasteners, labels, envelopes, there are some subcategories which is giving you low sales. So I can focus on those low sales and let me duplicate this one. And I'll see why this subcategory is giving low sales. So there is one more option here where we have this already discussed about hierarchies. So if I do a drill down, okay, and I'll go to the fasteners. Okay, so I'm getting more value in other manufacturers. So this manufacturer which is already there, Stockwell, OIC, Alliance, Echo. So these manufacturers are giving very less sales. So we need to, I mean, client need to concentrate on this manufacturers and focus on this. And also we can drill down to more from not only manufacturer, you can drill down more to product level as well. So I'll just filter out the fasteners so that it will be visible. So I'll just take fasteners. Say okay. Yeah, so this is the information of fasteners. So what are the manufacturers? So subcategory is fasteners, and fasteners are manufactured by these many companies. So it is manufactured by Advantas, Acco, Alliance, and Stockwell. And there are some other manufacturers. Okay. So if you see uh, whoever manufactured fasteners, Acco, Alliance, so they are having less sales. So we need to focus on this manufacturers and try to get the information and try to take the insights and try to take the decision in such a way that these manufacturers improve the performance of the sales. And if you see in other manufacturer, only Staples has the product Staples has the highest sales. And if you take the other products, so they are having very low sales. So in that way, they can make decisions on to stop the manufacturing or to increase the sales. So in that way, they can take the decisions accordingly. So by depending on the audience, we can prepare the dashboard so that they can take decisions whether to manufacture the product or to increase the sales. So those type of decisions can be taken by using the dashboards that we prepare and leverage the most viewed spot. So in any dashboard that we create, so left topmost place is the most leveraged spot. So most leveraged spot. Okay, so whatever dashboard that whatever worksheet that we want to keep, so we should I mean whatever the whichever the important worksheet that you can place it in the left topmost position. Why? Because that's the upper left corner of your dashboard. So that is a like not only in Tableau, in whichever reporting tool that you are using. So that is the most viewed spot. That's why you can keep any important worksheet which is prepared by you. You can keep it on the left topmost and design the real world. So not only we can keep it for the uh, dashboard, I mean in the browser level. So we can also prepare the dashboard for mobile view as well. So not only like this. So if you keep it in automatic mode, okay. So if you keep it in automatic mode, and you can see the dashboard as per the browser or as per the screen that is available. So let's say I have shared some of the visualizations in the uh, WhatsApp where you can see as per the your screen. So let's say I'll just open up Tableau Public. So in Tableau Public, whenever you open that link, it will open according to your screen size. So if your screen size is mobile, if you are using mobile, it will show you according to your mobile. If you are using laptop or computer, so it will show accordingly your screen size. So let's say this is the dashboard. Okay, so I'm opening it in desktop, so you can see like a square, like it is I'm able to see according to my desktop. Okay, so if I open the same workbook in mobile, you can see vertically. So you can see the charts vertically placed. So one by one you can see. Vertically you need to scroll down so that to see the worksheets. So this way, if you put it in automatic, so it will be automatically adjust to your screen. Or if you want to prepare, so let's say if your users are using mostly iPhone and if they are mostly watching it in mobile itself, then we can choose a phone size, and we can design the views accordingly. Let's say I want to show state-wise sales, and I will keep this worksheet. Okay, so I'll keep this worksheet and go to phone. Yeah, so here I can see. So how it will look in the phone, that we can decide. So let me go back to default and let me make it as entire view and sorry, and fit width. Okay, and if I select phone, so it will show you how it will look in the mobile. So you can see this information and you will get a scroll bar. Okay, so this way it will be visible in the mobile, and you can keep multiple worksheets. Let me put a pie chart as well. So this way we can design for mobile as well. I'll put sales and make it default. Entire view. Yeah, so now select phone. So it will show you how it will be shown in the phone. And when you scroll down, you can see this color legends and size legends also in the mobile. And we can select how it will be visible in the different phones. So these are the list of phones that are available. According to their size, we can see the preview. So this is just a preview that is available. Yeah. So this is how we can make mobile dashboards as well, and limit the number of views. So whatever dashboard that we create, so there has to be a purpose of creating each and every worksheet. And whenever those worksheets are being created, so we need to create and use real estate as simple as possible. Why? Because let's say, so there are other ways where we can keep, let's say here currently I'm showing state-wise sales, and I can also show information like by controlling with parameters. Uh, I can also show other columns. So I want to show city as well. City. Sorry, you need to make this a string. Type city. And I also want to see country. Country and state. Okay, say okay. And I'll write a calculation. So if parameter 3 equals to state, then state. Else if parameter 3 equals to city, then city. So here I'm writing whenever I have select parameters as city, then I want to see city column. So else if parameter 3 equals to city and country. So whenever I have selected country, then country. So this is the calculation. So instead of, so this is swap dimensions, which we have already discussed. So at a time, I can see, so without creating any multiple dashboards or multiple worksheets, so I will give control to the user. So I can see country-wise sales, I can see state-wise sales like that. So that's how we can make use of these parameters and show parameter to the user. Okay, so they can select this value and you can see it is getting swapped. So in that way, we can reduce the number of sheets that are being used. We reduce the number of worksheets that are being used. So otherwise, you might need to end up creating 3 worksheets. So for city, you need to create 1 worksheet, country, you need to create 1 worksheet, and state. So this has reduced the number of worksheets. So even you can swap the measures as well, which will, let's say if you are considering 3 measures, so 3 into 3, you are reducing 9 worksheets in the dashboard. So which will improve the performance. So if you know, I mean, the number of worksheets, if the number of worksheets are getting increased, so it will decrease the performance of the dashboard. So you need to create the worksheets in such a way that, so whatever is important, those worksheets only you need to create and keep it in the dashboard accordingly. So if you're not using any worksheets, it's better you delete those worksheets and then publish it to the server. Otherwise, it will take it will consume the performance. So that way we can limit the number of views. Okay, and add interactivity to encourage exploration. Okay, so I'll take an example of dashboard which has already been built by Tableau. So I'll just show you how this interaction works so that we can interact with one worksheet with the other worksheet that are being used in Tableau dashboard. Okay, so now that we have this dashboard, okay, so if I select on hospital name, so this hospital name is getting highlighted in all other places. Central Middlesex Hospital is getting highlighted in other worksheets as well. And let's say Epsom General Hospital is also getting highlighted. So in that way, with one sheet, I'm able to interact with other worksheets. So even if I click on this one, Doncaster Royal Infirmary, so with that I'm able to filter in the other worksheet. So without I'm not using any other filters. I'm just clicking on that particular site, or I'm clicking on that particular hospital. So I can see the information of that particular hospital in the other worksheets as well. So that way I can read what is the overall satisfaction score given by this particular hospital, and how is the emotional support over there. All these questions, a user can find out. Okay, so the satisfaction correlation. So how emotionally they are supporting as 93% and working together 93%, and answering all the questions, let's say whatever the doubts that patients had. So they're willing to answer to the questions. So that way we are able to read the data. And housing, this is something related to housing, where we can see the location, city of Westminster. Yeah, so whenever I click on this, so old construction details are getting highlighted. Let's say if I click on new development, so these are a new development which are being highlighted. So there are 705 transactions which happen for new development. And for old development, 9,908. So this way we can use interactive dashboard to see, to explore more uh, in the data. So if you click on one worksheet, you will be able to see how the data is performing across all the other sheets. So that's about interaction. Okay. So to improve the performance, there are many steps. So I have created these two worksheets as of now. Let's say if I want to publish this to dashboard. So what are the key steps that I need to do before publishing is hide the unused fields. So to create these two worksheets, I am not using much of the fields which are there in the data source. So this is the data source that I'm connecting to sample superstore. So as I'm not using all the columns, so I can hide columns that are not being used. So which will improve the performance. Why? Because it will only retrieve the data, or it will only retrieve the columns that are being used. So there is no point uh, to retrieve the columns which are not being used. So these are the only columns which I'm using in the dashboard. So country, region, state, swap dimensions, which is a parameter calculation and all. Only these columns are being used. So I need to publish only these columns to the server. So while retrieving the data, it will only pull these columns. In that way, it improves the performance. So hiding all unused fields, which will improve the performance. Okay, so this is about hide sheets and attribute function. So I'll tell you about attribute function. So let's say if we have city column, or let's say state. Okay, so in state, we'll have many cities. Okay, so each and every state will have many cities. And there are some states which have only one city, which is Vancouver. Okay, so attribute is a function where whenever you have only one value, so at that time it will give you one value which is there. If you are having more than one value, so if you see for Alberta you have two cities, for Arizona you have more than two cities. So it will not write any value if you use attribute function. So city. Okay, so it returns the value of the given expression if it only has a single value. Okay, so in our case, I'm writing for city. So if it has only one value, then it will give you that one value which is there. So if it is having more than one value, so in other cases you have more cities, so it will give you asterisk symbol. Okay, so null values are ignored, and so say okay. So this is attribute function. Attribute function. Say okay. Use this one. Yeah. So whenever there are more than one city, you are getting this asterisk sign. That means it should not have, I mean, the functionality of this attribute function is, so whenever there is only one value, that one value you can see. So Vancouver, British Columbia had only one city, so you are able to see that one city name. So if you are having more than one value, it will show you asterisk symbol. So that is the use of attribute function. Okay, so now we will see how to apply filters on multiple worksheets. So before going to that, so any questions from the previous slides? Okay, so let's just continue with this. Okay, so let's continue. So how to apply filters on multiple worksheets? So we have these many worksheets, and let's say I want to apply. So I have applied the subcategory for filter only in sheet 9 of 2. So there are multiple options where we have uh, so only this worksheet, or you can keep it to selected worksheets. So you can select worksheets for which you want to apply the same subcategory filter. So manually you can select all worksheets, you can select by clicking on this, or if you want to select one by one, like this you can select. And if you want to ignore any other worksheets, so we can ignore. So that depends on the requirements to apply filter on which worksheet and all. So that we can do. So that is one option to apply filter to selected worksheets. Say okay, and I click on this, all using this data source. So whichever worksheet is using this particular sample superstore data source. So we have two data sources. Okay, so whichever worksheet is using this sample superstore as a data source, we can apply that this filter to that. So all using this data source. So if you go to any other worksheets, you can see that filter is already getting applied. So whichever is using this data source. So apply filter to all using this data source. To apply filter to all using this data source. Okay, so that is one option. And all using related data sources. So all using related data sources meaning, so if there is a data blending, so sometimes we use second data source for data blending purposes. So let's say if we take any column from the other table, or if you make any connection, okay, so this will become your secondary data source. So you can see the symbols. So whenever in the previous session when we had discussed about data blending, so primary data source is represented as blue icon, and the secondary, all the secondary data sources will be represented with orange icon. So that is about applying to the related data source. So even if it is not the same data source, related data source also it will get applied. So to apply, so all using related data sources. To apply filter to related data source. Related data source. First one is to apply to the same worksheet or this worksheet. Okay, so there are four options that are there. So to apply it to the single worksheet, to apply to selected worksheets, to apply to all using this data source, and to apply to related data source. So these are the four options that are available for applying to the different worksheets. So that is about filters. So I'll just make one dashboard. So I'll just take a new one. I'll connect to the sample superstore data. Okay, so this is my sample superstore data. And I will design sales. And I will also create subcategory. So this I will create this time as a bubble chart. Okay, so in bubble chart, I should not use any red color or green color so that I'm not representing anything which is good. So in bookcases, you see there is some green color is being used. So I should not use that green colors. Why? Because I am not representing anything good or bad. So that is about that. And I will create one word cloud. So I'll put subcategory in the text and subcategory in the size. Okay, sales, put it in the size. Yeah, and put the subcategory in the colors. Okay, so this way I can create word cloud. And this is, let's put customer name also. Customer name, let's put it in the detail. Yeah, so this way you can insert customer name also, where you can see each and every bubble represents each and every customer and also the subcategory. So this is called as bubble chart and word cloud. And now let's see tree map, subcategory, and click on tree map. And not only this tree maps and all, we can also create stacked bar. Okay, so stacked bar is something. Okay, stacked bar is something where we create one on top of other. So if you keep things one top of other, so this is called a stacked bar. Okay, so I will show you how to create stacked bar as well. So take sales and take category and subcategory and subcategory and take this stacked. Okay, so we have a total of, let's say, for each and every, let me show a reference line, sum of sales per sale and value. Okay, so there, okay, for furniture we have $754,748. So that is being splitted. So this entire bar, $754,748, is being splitted across each and every subcategory, and we'll see the values. Okay, so these are the values. So this $754,748 is splitted across these subcategories. So 150,000 is coming from bookcases. chairs, $335,000, and furnishing. So this is called as a stacked bar. So you can see the distribution of subcategories in each and every bar. Okay, so now that I have prepared 4 different charts, and I'll make this as automatic. Okay, so it's very simple. You can create in tiled mode. So just drag and drop, put these things, tree map, and stacker bar. Okay, and put the title. You can name it as dashboard design. And make it center. And we can reduce the width of the bar. So just reduce the width of the bar. Okay, so that we can see. So this is just to show the total on top of this. So what I have done is I have just added this reference line, edit reference line, and I'll just don't want to show the line. Yeah, so this way I can show the total on top of this, and each and every stack, it is showing the distribution of each and every subcategory. For furniture, there is a total of $754,748, and that value is being split across subcategories. And tree map, we already know it is representing it in 3 different ways, which is intensity of the color, size of the box, and the hierarchy. And these names are representing, so according to the size of the name, and so we can decide that the value of the sales is more. So if you see phones has the highest value, which is $331,843, and fasteners has the lowest sales. So this way we can represent the data. And each and every bubble is representing each and every customer with subcategory. So this is how we can design the dashboard. So if you want to keep the borders, so we can click on this layout and keep the borders for each and every dashboard. Click on this like this. And try to use light color backgrounds. So user will focus more on the designs that we have prepared. Entire view. We'll also make this as entire view. Yeah. So this way you can design a multiple worksheet dashboard. Yeah. So this is about the best practices of Tableau desktop and Tableau server. And we also have discussed about how to apply worksheets to multiple data sources, multiple worksheets that we have prepared, and how to apply it to the data source, or how to apply to the worksheet which are using the same data source. So those we have discussed. So with this, we have completed Tableau session 29. So I'll just take a pause to get the questions from you.